Zach leaves early, but put up 140 points. You get some really big performances from a few guys. What did you take away from this game?
What a great group effort. I mean, kind of reminiscent of the first game against the Spurs in the first half. Just weren't really establishing our pace. Obviously, it was only, I think, a 2-point deficit at halftime, so definitely different than the first game. We weren't touching the paint as much. We had too many stagnant moments. Our defensive activity, again, just point of attack defense. They were playing with too much rhythm. Transition hurt us again. Second chance points hurt us differently than the first game in tonight's game. So we had to recalibrate at halftime. It was about playing better, playing more physical, more attentiveness to transition, limiting them just to one shot, executing our game plan. I thought for the most part we were pretty solid, but it was the rebounding transition that hurt us. And then when we were able to not foul them and put them on the free throw line, we were able to get out and run. And what a heck of a run there in that third quarter. I mean, just so many different guys. I mean, obviously, Dez, 14 assists, but then you look at the impact BC made, Santi back-to-back games defensively, guarding Wembanyama, that assignment, the shooting and the different playmaking opportunities there. And then Jake, didn't knock down a shot, but was a plus 25. Just his rebound, his point of attack defense. We put him on a couple different guys that had hurt us in the first game. So overall, great effort by this group. And then just when we can play with that pace and that just amount of movement and ball movement, 39 assists, that's the style we want to play. And, you wish you could get it earlier in the game, and that's something we're going to have to, continue to find and, to start our games like that. But defensive activity ignited our pace and then our ball movement, and then we kind of took it from there, in the fourth quarter.
Without Ja, you're playing a lot of minutes with Desmond at point guard and finished with 7 turnovers for the full game. Just, was there a moment that you felt like it clicked for him? It felt like he had a couple of drives and you sort of acknowledged it. And what do you make just of his overall performance?
Yeah, it's big time. I got so much faith and trust in Dez to, be a lead playmaker and advantage creator for us. And when we get our spacing right and he's pushing, 3 seconds to the 3-point line and he just sees where that live dribble space read like I've been talking about, it's drive left, drive right, no matter what they're doing on the ball. He's getting point of attack, at the rim, but then also just his, kickouts for threes. And that's been awesome to watch, and he's handling pressure. Teams are going to throw more at him. As the time goes on, they're going to send him to different directions. They're going to blitz him in pick and roll, but his just poise, but not losing that pace and that physicality that he plays with. And obviously gifted scorer off the bounce, 3-point shooter, but the fact that the last couple of years he's added that, and especially now embracing more, usage tonight with Ja out for the game, that was really incredible to watch his pace of play and his playmaking.
You had 3 different opponents on this trip, 3 different styles of defenses that you had to face. But overall, to go 3-1 on this trip and to finish it off the way you guys did, what does it say about the momentum and the collective effort you guys have shown?
Yeah, great learning trip for us. I think, we put ourselves in positions to win all 4 ball games, got 3 of the 4, and as you said, different styles, but the underlying current is the level of physicality, and intention that we need to play with on both sides of the floor, and didn't have it as much in the Houston game, and we kind of paid the price for it, but I think we had it for the majority of the 48 against Minnesota. And you look at the Spurs game, we had to kind of recalibrate at halftime, both games with the physicality, the urgency on the defensive side. What's the area that's really hurting us? We get enough stops, we get out and run, we play with our pace. That lacked in the Houston game, but thankfully we got it in the 2 halves, here in San Antonio to kind of, come back and get the victories. So really impressed, and now we get to catch our breath for, a day and get back to work on Sunday. And, the gauntlet keeps, churning. But I told these guys, this is the time, keep trusting the work on your body, work on, your individual game, but also what we're trying to do collectively, defensively and offensively. This is the time of year that's going to stress test you. And I'm glad we, got the results we did, but we know we can still find ways to get better for 48 minutes.
Have you seen Jalen Wells do that one-leg running 3-pointer before?
No, and impressed with him, just his poise. Finished his 6 of 8, and I think the first half, he wasn't really getting going, and we start playing fast and ball movement. There's just that rhythm's there, and he starts knocking it down, and that was definitely a pretty incredible shot.
And then with Santi, we talked about him a lot this season, but what have you made of just how he kind of rises to the occasion in these situations and stepping up when guys are going down and having these type of pop performances?
Oh, it's huge. He's been, very consistent all season long. I love his confidence he's playing with on the offensive side. A fiery Santi, I said at the beginning of the year, is the best one. One that's just got fuel and that intent of going out there playing aggressively. Obviously, going up against Wembanyama, we had a lot of different matchups and different coverages. I thought he took on that task, with a lot of, purpose. But then offensively, when we're playing with pace, we're playing with movement, you've seen that all season long. He can just flourish. He can flourish in closeout situations, shooting the 3-ball well, drive and kick, opportunities, getting to the free throw line, that aggressive mentality. So I'm glad our kind of offensive philosophies unlocked a little bit more out of him. But when he comes in with that mentality of being aggressive, you get to see these results and this impact that he's making.
Do you think he's like qualifies as like microwave type of player who sees a couple go in and all of a sudden the ring gets much bigger for him?
Yeah, I mean, you can see just the look in his eye. You know, when he gets into his shot prep, he's knocked down one or two. That basket looks big, and he's got an unbelievable shooting stroke, and I'm glad he's finding that consistency. But he's definitely a guy you see a couple go in, whether it's in transition, it's playing off the ball, it's any different situation. When that ball touches his hand, you see the quick release. That's that confidence, you know, that he's shooting with, and more often than not, it's going in.
What do you know about Zach Edey at this point?
Yeah, it was more the nose, so we just kind of held him out of precaution. We got to evaluate a little bit more, so that's all we know right now. Scotty, yeah, I mean, by the time just, you know, hit to the head, he was bleeding. I'm not sure if he needs stitches or not, and then he'll just get further evaluation as well. Great.
All right,
Thanks,
thanks,
everyone.
Tyler.
Appreciate it, guys.